Hi to all, this is Amandeep Singh and today we are going to learn something about C language. That what is C language, what are applications of it and what are the IDs we use for C language. And also in this lecture we also learn about how to install code block IDE which is used for C language and how to install it and how to run our first program of the C language. So, what is C language? C writing computer programs is a universally useful procedure, basic personal computer programming language created in 1972 by Dennis M. Ritchie at the Bell Telephone Laboratories to build up the Unix working framework. C is the most generally utilized scripting language. In other words, if we want to say that C is a high level and general purpose language programming that is ideal for developing firmware or portable applications. Originally intended for writing system software, C was developed at Bell Labs by Dennis Ritchie. Okay, now why should we learn C language? C programming language is a must for understudies and working experts to turn into an extraordinary software engineer, uncommonly when they are working in software development domain. I will list down a portion of the vital favorable circumstances of learning C programming. There are the few favorable circumstances. Why should we learn the C language? Number one, it is easy to learn. Number two, it is organized language. Number three, it produces effective projects. And number four, it can deal with low level exercises. And number five, it tends to be ordered on an assortment of PC stages. And many more are the features of the C language programming which causes that why should we learn the C language. Next, proceed to the next page. There are various real world applications of C programming. Although we always hear about C programming that it is a very commonly used and still in today's world nobody is using C language, but there are lots of platforms and real world applications where we use C programming language. So let's see. The applications of C are not only limited to the development of operating systems like Windows or Linux, but also in the development of GUIs and IDEs. Here are some striking applications offered by the C programming language. Number one, operating system. In order to design an operating system, we use C language. Okay, and number two, embedded system. The C programming language is considered an optimum choice when it comes to scripting applications and drivers of embedded system, as it is closely related to the machine hardware. As we know that C language is really related and closely related to the machine language and machine hardware, so we can easily embed the systems with the help of C language. Number 3, graphical user interface, GUI. It stands for graphical user interface. Adobe Photoshop, one of the most popularly used photo editors since olden times, was created with the help of C. Later on, Adobe Premiere and Illustrator were also created using C. We also know Adobe as we also hear about the Adobe Photoshop. But have you ever know that it is also created with the help of C language? Also, there are some real examples like new programming platforms. In order to create a new programming like Python, Java, etc. and C++ even also, we use the features of C and C language to make a new programming platforms. Number 5, Google. Number 6, Mozilla Firefox and Thunderbird. Number 7, MySQL. Number 8, compiler designs. Number 9, gaming and animations. These are the some real various examples where we use the C programming languages. And the basic general application of the C language is gaming and animation. Mostly people use C language for gaming and animations. Also, there are also various application platform where we use the C language, but the most commonly used platform is for C language is gaming and animations. Now, next page further, structure of a C program. We know what is C language and who introduced this, and second, we also know that what are the real applications where we use the C language. Now, the third, what is the structure of the C language? So let's see. Number first, the header come, and the header means it's a file, header file, which we will know in further classes that what is this and how we can include. And the general syntax is hashtag include stdio.h. Number second is main method. Number third, variable declaration, that whether the variable is integer, string, character, etc. We will all know about this in our further videos. Number fourth is body. What should we do with the variable, and in the main method whatever we will do, that's called the body of the main method. Number fifth and last is the return method, which is the most commonly and main method if we used main method with int. If we used void, then we can't use return. Next page is, yeah. Now let's see how our C language code, if we write a something in C language, then how it is processing with the computer. So first of all, let's suppose samp.c. Samp.c is a file of C in which we write some code. Not that .c is the execution of the C programming language. Okay, so samp is the name of the file, and in which we write some code that hashtag include stdio.h int main print f hello backslash and return 0, and we and the body. So it's our program, and to convert this with in machine language we need some compiler, C compiler, for compiling this C language file. Okay, so sam.c is our file, and when we use the C compiler, so it converts our file into an execution file. Okay, so that when it execute, it converts the code into machine language. Okay, and C compiler takes a sample.c as the input and turns it into a machine readable executable. The computer runs or executes this executable. Got it? Means if we means what the function of the C compiler is, just it takes the file and converts into executable file, and the system runs this executable file and gives the output. Okay, now let's see what are the different IDs for using C language. There are a lot of IDs. Even you can compile your code on online also, or you can use various different IDs available for Windows, Linux, Mac, etc. So there are the some few IDs for using C language. Number one is Codeblock, number two is Kite, Eclipse, Ceylon, Visual Studio Code, NetBeans, Codelight, Atom, Notepad++, Turbo C++, etc. There are various IDs for using C language. Also, let me show the some online compiler also where you can run your code and compile easily without downloading anything. Just go to the Chrome and type online C compiler, and here you can see just this is the code and this is the online compiler, and just see printf hello world. It will the print our world. Let's run this program. Press, if we run, see, hello world is written. So these are the online compilers also available where you can run your program without using your desktop memory, without downloading any ID. Okay, so let's download our first IDE program using, and this is the code block. I prefer code block for using C language as compared to Turbo, C++ and anything else. Mostly people use also Dev C++ also, but I prefer code block. And many of the programmers also prefer code block. Even lead code also you can download, you can use, and many more IDs as per your choice. But I prefer code block. So let's see how to download code block. So just go to Chrome and type code blocks. Okay, yeah. So when you type code blocks, the official website of the code block will open. Here, just go to downloads. So after click on download, go to download the binary release. And here you see there are a lot of packages setup, package of the setup for Windows XP, Vista 7, 8.x and 10. Also there are setup for Linux 32 and 64-bit and Mac operating system also. So we are installing CodeBlock in our Windows 10 as I'm using Windows 10 now. So Windows XP Vista 7 8.x/10, go to here and go to download for this execution. Why I say this? Because this code block, this execution file has already a compiler, inbuilt compiler. MinGW is a C compiler which compiles our file and convert it into executable file. Okay, so I prefer to download this and go to here. Click on this. As I have already downloaded this code block setup, so let me pause this and show the further process you need to know. Yeah, this is the our code block execution which we have downloaded. So just double click on it. Click on next. Click on I agree. Next, install. Yeah, it's because also exists now. So yeah, yes. Because I have already installed code block now, so it shows this. Otherwise it will not show in your, if you download the code block in first time. Now after this, when it is completed, it says do you want to run code block now? I said yes. Completed. It's next, click on next, finish. Yeah, so after this the code block is opening. Because I select now that do you want to run code block now, so that's why it automatically starts our code block. So this is the our page of code block. So first of all, just go to settings and click on compiler. Here just click on sub menu, toolchain and executable, and click on auto detect for auto detecting the compiler, and click on OK. So how to run your first program? Let's see. File, click on file, click on new and click on again file, C/source, next, we use C. Next, file name with full path. I suppose first full path it's saying no, so we use this first.c and save. Okay, you can give any path. Okay, it's your up to you. Finish. Yeah, so this is our first.c file. Let's make our first program simple. Just print our name. So first of all, we include header file, hashtag include stdio.h, hashtag include con.io.h, int main, print f, my name is Amandeep Singh, and this, and then return method, return 0. Okay, so after this, so what is this? These are our header files which we have to include. This is our main method in which we define the body, that whatever we want to do. Okay, in this we are not using variable, but in the further classes we use variables. So it's just only body, and then this is a return method, and this is the end of the body. Okay, so go to file and save file, and then click on this run and build and run. See, my name is Amandeep Singh. It's processing, so it means our program is completely done. And then press enter, close. So this is our the first program, and in this class we learn what is C language, what are their applications, and what are the real examples, real applications where we use a C programming language, why we learn C programming language, what are different IDEs, how a C program runs, and how to install code block and run our first program and set the path. So thank you for watching. In the next class we will further discuss. Thank you.